I'm telling you, man.
Hey fam, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of I'm Telling You.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Ethel is in the house. The green room was effective. It's been an amazing ride, and we are strapped in for another hour of awesomeness. Which, by the way, I'm Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Clickety clack, a fact checker, Miss JD.
I love how she phoned that one in. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and tell you about our sponsors because we have amazing sponsors. They are awesome. I mean, they were kind of our unofficial sponsor from
day one.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they've been helping us load up and party. But roundguysbrewery.com. We're going to, we'll insert this here later. Oh, yeah, give them a little pro. Oh, what's up?
I'm getting ready to drink
if you love good PA, local craft, well-brewed, amazing beers, seltzer, or sodas, because they do all three.
Named after the Wu-Tang?
And they love the Wu-Tang. You can hit up roundguysbrewery.com. Yeah, you're going to find their inventory. You're going to find ways to get it shipped, all that good stuff, as well as, again, beer, seltzers, and they make their own soda. As well as when you go to check them out, they're probably going to have a QR code that's going to negate the shipping, which means you're just paying for it as if you walked in, but they're going to send it to your house.
That's hot shit right there.
It is. As well as they give us tons of free beer, which, I mean, that's always a great thing. So we can't really say anything about that. But yeah, hey, for first time listeners, this is a 30-year friendship between me and this.
Go ahead.
This jackass over here. But yeah, no, a 30-year friendship. We squashed this down into like an hour conversation we talk anything, everything, metaphysics, how not to be a douche. We throw in dad jokes, movie quotes, movie jokes and dad quotes. Yeah, we do them both. We don't really care.
It's interchangeable.
Yeah, really. Sometimes we talk hip hop, Wu-Tang, all that good stuff. How to make sure you're taking care of the children, shit like that. And yeah, and also sometimes we get amazing guests in the house, which tonight, please, if you could introduce yourself.
Hey guys, so I'm Brigavelli. I am a recording artist, currently based out of New York, and I'm very honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Nice. Yeah. If you have anywhere to find you, what you want, hey, if this is the easiest way to check me out, where can people find your music? Because by the way, your music's dope, and we'll be playing some of that later.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, all platforms you can find me Brigavelli, Brigavelli.
Dude, you know what? So I got the double L myself, and earlier when you were saying you were like LL, and it's like, you know what? I do love like LL Cool J, but you know what? The double L is also kind of cool. Which is even funnier is like when you see like on YouTube or whatever, we get the little like subtitles and stuff. It says double L, not like LL. It just says double L. Dude, it cracks me up. But yeah, when you know what? Hey, we already got it queued up. Let's go ahead and rock this. Let's get a quick sample of some amazing stuff that we got here.
Thank you. This is called The Mirror, premiering April 14th.
Not choosing my health. I've been drinking when I'm feeling triggered, not building my wealth. The dollar and a dream when I look in the mirror, I look at myself. Yeah, I think I need help. No, who am I? Check my makeup. When I wake up, tell myself I proved it. Do I do what I say?
Oh yeah, oh my God. You know what? Because, all right, so I told you, and I mean, our listeners know this, but, having a music show on top of all this, I get to make a 2-hour music list with you. So normally it's like, you tell me what you're into, and I make you a dope-ass list. But you being a musician means we get a shit ton of shameless plugs. So like that track as well as many more. Dude, I'm going to be introducing to a lot of people soon. It's going to be freaking awesome.
I can't wait.
Dude,
and also thoughts for what else to mix it into.
Well,
Right? It's going to be all about like your music interests as well, not just like it's what inspires you. And
well, so, I mean, and that was the cool thing is like originally when I tried to start the show, it was more about hip hop evolution, and that's kind of where the evolution came from, because you're getting the tiers, the years of it, like the stories from time to time to time. So to me, music has such a story that you have to be able to give that back information. Like you need to give those little tidbits. So having a platform where not only can I play all these different songs, genres and decades, but I get to tell you the cool like liner notes and shit. So it's very much a educational but also entertaining platform where we get to have fun, hopefully. Because I'm laughing my ass off and saying dad jokes and stuff, especially sometimes the way I put the music together. So when I get the opportunity to play new or interesting stuff, whether it's legit new, like it just came out, or it's something for the first time, I'm like, holy crap, how have I never heard of this? So having a platform where we can really just broaden people's horizons, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, because you're
original, authentic.
Yeah.
Well, because you're not only getting to have that experience, but it's also more of that thing where like your audience can help you grow, but you're helping your audience grow. Meanwhile, you're also helping that musician grow. So there's so many different facets to it. So like one little thing makes so much more love.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I don't know what any of this crazy ride is bringing for us, but it's not about that. Like it's about the relationships that we make with each other, the moments that we have with each other.
I was going to say free beer seems to be.
That does help.
I'm not going to lie, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a good way to segue, good connection.
That's what we do here. We also tangent like crazy, so we have to segue because then it like gets us to go back and forth. But yeah, so how long have you been doing music? Because we were talking earlier in the green room. You said 6 is when you had like your first, your stage debut and then your standing ovation and all that amazing. But when did you actually like start, like where it was like I was doing choir, music lessons, like any of that kind of stuff?
I guess at 6 it started. I did theater, was writing music. I always had a keyboard.
You were writing at 6?
Well, no, I was probably writing at like maybe 9 or 10.
Okay, but like the music and the lyrics and everything. So are you trained in music, like in actual instruments, or?
In piano.
Okay, I think that's a great way to start.
Yeah, it helped me read sheet music. I kind of got away from it, after a while, and I just focused more on singing in general. And then just recently, I bought myself another piano, so I've been picking it back up again.
Nice.
It kind of helps train your ear.
Yeah.
And, just develop your sound a little bit better. But I guess seriously as an artist, it's maybe been about 5 years taking my brand seriously, taking my music seriously. Before it was kind of more of a hobby. I kind of was encouraged to think that it was a hobby and not so much a career. You have to find something that's going to support you in your life. And so I got away from it for a little bit, and then I just kept coming back. Like something kept bringing me back every time. So here I am.
Nice. Yeah, that was something I think we were talking, green room wise as well, was like, you can get just that one person or review or, whatever. And you're just like, oh, I suck.
Yes.
Oh, God. And you give up.
Yeah.
And that's why I said you got to start out by doing it for love.
Yeah.
I think you only have to do it for love,
come
no matter what.
High water, like I have to get this out of me because this is an expression, and to be human and to be me, I can't live without having this expression.
Yeah, that's the problem
with
with art,
artist,
right?
that's the hard thing. Like, and I think there's an artist in all of us that like, there's a message that you want to share with the world, but like we're all too, like kind of stuck in the moment, like stuck in worrying about the future and worrying about the past that we can't just enjoy this.
Yeah, I would say we're not in the moment.
Not in the moment. Yeah, absolutely. Like the opposite, the antithesis of the moment.
Yeah, that you don't get to enjoy that, right?
Yes, that's you bring up, and I think that's a really good question. What do you feel, beyond you just being able to express yourself? What do you think is like your driving passion in your music? Like, is there a single component where you're just like, I really have to make this known, or what's your output?
I guess that's a good question because, you know, at first I'm thinking, okay, I want a platform where it's a big enough platform where I can help change a lot of things that I want to change, try to help a lot of people, because I see a lot of celebrities now. It's like they have such huge platforms. They have literally the ability to influence people in a way bigger than the government, bigger than anybody, and they don't use it. And it really disappoints me. Like one phrase can incite a riot amongst somebody. And these artists,
Or
these
like-
celebrities
yeah.
don't use their platforms properly. I don't believe that they do. You know, it's
I'm
just
gonna
my
agree with you
opinion.
on that.
Or like Bill and Ted, like bring the world together in peace.
Yes, bring it
You know,
together.
like you two used to do. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a
Yes.
lot of old like bands that did that, and it does seem, and maybe that's just my perception, that it does seem like we're losing a lot. Everything's
Yeah.
plastic now.
Yes.
Like if we can't mold it into this particular shape, and it has to promote violence, and it
Yeah.
has to promote
Self-absorbed.
sexism and tribalism and all
Yeah.
these other things.
Yeah.
Like, is that really the art coming through,
Right.
or is that somebody's bullshit that they're trying to
Yes.
push out there? Like, you never know anymore. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's nice to see original things coming through. Whether it's something I enjoy, which I did enjoy, what I've heard from you,
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed.
Thank you.
But you never know, like,
Concurred.
Yeah.
you never know when you're seeing that person and when you get to hear them sing live and like what it sounds like and where their heart is,
Yeah.
and like it's a totally different experience. So I
is.
feel like we're lacking that in like the big commercial scene.
I agree.
I mean, there's definitely a whole nother underground of music that doesn't have to involve A&Rs and
Yeah.
involve production companies and all else. Like if you want to run it like a business, who cares if you don't, you know, like make tons of money right away? I mean, most
Yeah.
businesses don't take off for a good 5 years anyway.
Right.
5 to 10.
That's
yeah.
right.
But
That's
you
the
don't even
average.
get into it. It's not even about the money, because if you don't have that mentality and you're not willing to put everything into that, like, and be able to love it, you know, regardless of whether it just falls flat on its face, like you still got to love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Because
I think
if that's
especially
not felt on the other side, it's when people start to catch on and go, oh, this person's for real. Like, you know, when I hear your voice, it's like, all right, there's some trouble in there. Like there's some
Passion
soul.
drives you.
Yes.
There's some soul in there that you can feel, you know?
Yeah.
And you can't fake that.
That
I mean,
you can't fake. Right. Right. It's true. That's what drives me to write music is it's really a lot of like the troubling times that I've had, a lot of the struggle that I've been through. Yeah, I have happy songs and those are nice and they come out okay, but it's sometimes always like the heartbreak songs. It's not just like an ex or, you know, something at the surface. Like it's
because it's
really
a powerful emotion.
yeah, there's something
Yeah.
deep that's in you. It just I don't know, it just comes.
Relatable.
Yeah.
Well, see, you know, and that's
Well, you're telling a
Relatable.
story that's you're telling a story that everybody's heard.
Yeah.
That's why
And I
when,
think that's
when
where, like,
JD
you can
said
relate to it.
relatable, yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, that's
Absolutely.
because I mean, as you were saying all that stuff, I mean, the term pain points comes up, but that's like a sales fucking term. But it's when you recognize, you know, something in somebody else where it's like we can almost commiserate. So when you know, at least to me in an artistic form, when you can touch on that personally,
Yeah.
it usually transcends into everybody else because it goes beyond what it is that you're saying. Like it's not the physical scenario, it's all the emotions that comes with that.
Yes.
And when you can express that emotion, it allows anyone to relate to it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They say even some certain frequencies that you can hit can help cure certain illnesses, ailments, things like that. There's you know, and so music.
We discuss this all the time.
It's real, and I
wanna hug
believe
you right
it.
now.
And
It is
I seriously
100%.
want to hug you right now. No,
You
that's
have to
awesome.
ask her if she wants the tea before you can do that.
Right.
Well, yeah, no,
Right.
I understand. No, it's
He's like,
hugging consensual adults here, you know. But no, for real, because like I was gonna say, like every time I talk to a musician, I always ask, and like, you know, singer, songwriter, musician, whatever. The thing about 432, about tuning to 432.
well, yeah, as opposed to what? 440, right?
I think 440 is the standard.
Yeah, so
Tuning A to
So one is a more scientific denote, but they fall within the same range, so it has the same effect.
okay.
Because I was looking at singing glass bowls and I had to differentiate what's the difference between the 32 and the 40. And literally it was one's more scientifically specific, but one, they both fall within the same exact note. And it's your C major scale.
Okay.
That lines with your chakras, which is what causes like the healing and stuff.
Oh, it gives me the chills
And-
because I did not know any of this. Like you can feel
Yeah,
it. When I
and
hit certain
to be
notes,
specific-
I can feel it.
That thing, I get
1,000
I get that
hertz.
thing right in the. It goes right up my spine. Like if I get it,
Yeah, 1,000 hertz is a natural painkiller. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know why I can't. A totally different words coming
Like a
to mind.
cure, like a cure almost.
analgesic. Analgesic, is that no?
Is that
No,
the word?
that is a word, but that's
Oh, it
not
is.
the word.
It's also a joke too, but it's
Anal. What?
no, it's a Scrubs thing from a TV. But the bigger thing, going back to
But I've
Nikola.
been studying this, so
Do we all? Yeah, that's what she was saying. It's one of our big things. I mean, because going to the idea of Nikola Tesla, he talks about frequencies, vibrations, but also a scale of 3, 6, and 9. So if on a mathematical level, you can get a 3, 6, or 9 relative number. So if you take 440, you have 4 and 4. Well, you can't have 4 and 4. You have to add them up, and it gives you 8.
Right.
Because you got to have a scale of 1 to 9.
Okay.
Because that's your base numbers. Well, then if you add up 4, 3, and 2, you now get 9. Because 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9. So an 8 at 440 or a 9 at 432, which still, like she was saying, falls into that. Because, I mean, when you have your notes, you know, when you're tuning stuff, you can be just slightly outside and it still sounds in tuned. But frequency wise, it could be the difference of 432 to 440,
This
which is
blowing my mind right now.
well, so that's why while we're, as he was saying, traditional scales now we're based off of a
All right.
440.
You wanna hear my whole
original
thing?
was 432.
You want to hear my whole thing? Because like
I don't know how much time do we have. How much all are we? Yeah,
How whole is it?
that's what I'm saying. Where are we? You know, come on.
like orchestras when they were tuning their instruments and playing with each other, they would naturally want to tune to 432 because they found over the years that it was actually less harmful for the instrument and the strings when they were, because it seemed to be like it's more of a natural biological pitch.
I was going to say pure, but yeah,
Like
I think
it's-
natural is, yeah.
Like that, it's a hard way to explain, but it's on the frequency with Earth and human beings and life on Earth. And,
Yeah, like that's why
like
natural.
it's more harmonious.
Yeah,
if you would say.
I like that word. Yeah,
Sympathetic rhythm.
that's what. Yeah,
sort of
natural, but yeah, harmonious. I like
And
that.
that strings would last longer. It was easier it's actually easier for singers to hit that pitch of A than it is to hit 440. And that the story that I heard was that the right-hand man of Hitler, actually, when he was trying to change a whole bunch of things
Martin.
Huh?
I know that's a Martin, but
His
yeah,
name's
but-
Martin.
that was his.
basically knew and researched the fact that 440 would be just off enough to kind of make it was something about
Uneasy.
making people uneasy enough.
That's
that
a real
they-
thing too.
Oh yeah,
that
it
they
is.
didn't-
And it's very
that it was
subtle.
easier to control you
Yeah, it's
because
subtle.
it puts you in a position of fear for some reason. I don't know how this
Yes.
works, but the 440 was just off enough from your natural biological rhythm that it actually made you wary of life and fearful, and that it put you on a different frequency, and it made you controllable.
Oh,
Well, and that's
my
why I said
God.
like
This
so.
goes deep, and I don't know how
I
true
know.
that is. I mean, you can
No,
try looking that up,
because-
but
I don't think she's like.
I don't know. Is
Look
this
at the
like
chills.
22 different types of lice over here?
Yeah,
Wow, though.
but that's why I so if you add them up, you get 432 is 9, but 440 is 8. It's like you're taking it, you're just off that little bit, and it's
Yeah.
just enough where you're like, you know, I don't. Why doesn't this resonate with me? Like something seems
Yeah.
off. Like it sounds right,
it
but it
should tell
doesn't
you when
feel
instruments
right.
stay in tune longer when tuned to 432.
Well, like you were saying.
When singers have less problems straining their voice during
You
a
said
performance,
natural, but
hitting
then
an A at
also-
432.
Well, maybe because the higher frequency carries a higher vibration, so it puts more strain on like the physical capacity of the actual instrument. Thinking from a percussive standpoint,
and it only has to be off a little to really mess that up.
So I would say what you're saying, but take it a little bit further. So as an example, when we would cross the Lambertville Bridge, you would if you would go across at the right speed in the right car.
That's so funny, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, so no joke.
You would hit the harmonic resonance of your vehicle.
So at 440, what if you're just that, while you're just off of that perfect or natural or harmonious pitch at 440 while you're still there, you're also really fucking close to the next one too. So it's almost like going from like a sharp to a flat. So while you're still, you're like, I'm pretty fucking close.
I would actually go over that bridge and I'd cut the volume off of my stereo.
No, I would. I do. I turn it off
because it would just go.
Not the one over here. Is Acceptable?
No. That's the Milford
particular bridge. But
the Lambertville, which is it's New Hope to Lambertville. Yeah, it's a open steel grate bridge, trussel, truss design.
Is this the one I don't like?
The what? No, that's this one's a bigger one. No, that one's the Frenchtown one.
It's a really narrow one.
But it's because of the natural resonance of the bridge, especially with my car at the time, because
and
it was
at 25.
Oh no, it was like 18 miles an hour or something. It was because the bridge was 15. Yeah, air quotes 15 mile an hour. If you rolled over it, 13, not 18. It was 13. So the fucking little.
So it was actually below the speed limit,
just under the speed limit, and that was the reason why I remember finding this out is because trying to cruise across, you're doing 20, 25, 30. You're trying to go just as fast as you can that you're not going to get popped by the cops, but you can still get across this fucking bridge really quick. Well, one of those times where all of a sudden it's just like you let off the throttle and it starts to, and the car's literally cruising along.
You could be deaf. It literally resonates your entire body.
Oh yeah, I had massive sound system, and it's just like, I mean, it's just pounding, and all of a sudden you get this.
Yeah.
You can't hear your sound.
Yeah. And it's starting to literally come over the radio. Yes. I mean, it's putting this, you're talking 130 decibel plus sound system. Yeah. It's almost deafening. And this bridge at this speed with this car now resonates louder than this stereo. And it's just like, what the? And it's to the point where it's just, you have to turn the radio down. You're like, what the hell is that?
So let's talk about that for real. Because think about and what that feeling that you feel and all that and
he has a problem putting it in his mouth.
And we were saying now certain frequencies certain frequencies can actually be used to focus on cancer cells and just
no. It wasn't so much the exact frequencies. It was a separation of multiple frequencies. So it was two frequencies with a specific difference.
And Dr. Emoto, who showed that throwing emotions into water.
Yeah, dude, I was just talking to a friend about this.
And then freezing it would show all these
emotions.
So you would label water for several weeks. You would label a bunch of different gallons of water, different words on them.
No.
He would love, hope.
He would take a small quantity of water, have it labeled, but he would every time he addressed that water for his test.
You think about the word.
He would either say it, give it. So it was either a verbal expression,
emotion of whatever was written on there. You were supposed to express to it for a certain amount of time each day.
Yeah, so whether you just looked at the water and you're like, you know what, you're beautiful. Right. I love you.
But the last one was I hate you, I want to kill you.
Yeah, it was anger.
And what happened to that one?
So all the other ones, by the way. So to start off on the
all the positive.
All the ones with positive vibes had very beautiful geometric shapes.
Yeah, gorgeous snowflakes.
Beautiful snowflakes.
It would when you would freeze it, it would crystalline
and geometrically perfect. And and the one where all the hatred was focused.
Where he literally would be like, I hate you, fucking die, I'm gonna kill you, just as much negativity as he could put into it.
And it was just the way I described it was when you looked at it, it just looked like a cancerous mess.
Well, no, that's not even what you said. It's what it was actually. It looked like a cancerous cell. There was a incoherent, chaotic vibration to it that gave it a almost non-symmetric. It literally gave it a non-symmetrical barrier.
So it didn't actually freeze in a crystalline form at all.
Yeah, it was more you go from just oh, hey, and all of a sudden it's just and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
but it was a physical representation of emotion. Because again, it was whether it was he said loving things to it or positive things, whatever each of those idea was. He was just putting his energy in.
And so many people would say, oh, that's spiritual, but that's science there to prove it, So that's where you can tie them together.
Dude, and I say that all
Those
the
two,
time.
right?
So one of my bigger things is between religion and science is they both prove and disprove each other constantly. Each one is a faith system. Because here's the thing, science, while they call it fact, they say it's a truth. No, it's just something that's, reproducible.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, if you take these exact constraints, you're going to, it's like saying, hey, if you take these ingredients and you put them together, you're going to get a fucking cookie. Well, no shit, it's a fucking cookie.
Yeah.
So to me, fact is,
You don't need faith for that.
you don't need faith, but you still do, because you have to believe, hey, if I do all these things, I'm going to get a fucking cookie. What's the same thing as saying, hey, if I do this, God's, now I want a cookie.
Right.
But if I do all these things, God's going to make my life better.
Yeah.
That they're both still faith systems, because neither one of them do you know. There's no literal evidence. And then people can say, oh no, we can reproduce over and over again. Yeah, there's a consistency, but that's not fucking evidence. You don't know.
Yeah, there's always a consistency, but there always could be a variable. It could be a bad day. They fuck up the cookies. Then after that, if they fuck up the cookies for the whole family, then the child gets upset. Child goes to school, has a bad day, fucks up another kid, ruins his life because he's bullied. Then what? I know
nobody gets any fucking cookies.
No,
Nobody's got no. Oh my god.
Like, it's just a...
Oh my God, this makes me think of Kermit and the Cookie Monster.
People are stealing cookies on the street.
Right.
Don't judge me.
Yeah, because of his burnt cookies, the whole world will be fucked up.
Yo, Cookie Monster, bro.
I'm serious.
Is that what happened to Adolf?
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're so coming
Cookie
back.
Monster
This is gonna be
got
long.
caught freebasing cookies.
Yeah, no, that was a Family Guy where he's like in the bathroom stall and he's got like cookie
yes.
dough on a spoon with
I
a
saw
lighter. He's
this.
like, don't judge me.
I saw this. I saw that.
Don't judge me.
I did.
But yeah, that is so true. I mean, and that's why, like, I mean, so going to the whole Tesla thing, thinking in frequencies and vibrations, we've had this discussion so many times where we've gone back through time to be like, hey, there seems to be like technology or evidence of, just a alternate perception that produced amazing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about no power tools and we're constructing monuments that are larger than what we have today, that are more exact than what we have today. And we got like all these digital laser, blah, 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 blah bullshit.
But it's all about what? It's all about frequency and vibration, though.
But and that's the
Learning
thing
about gravity and magnetism.
I like magnetism
That
better.
force of
He doesn't get paid to pronounce it either. But that's what I'm saying is like,
But you understood what I was saying.
when we go back to all those things, what's the one thing that you can guarantee is frequencies, sounds. So, you take an A sharp, A flat, there's going to be a resonant frequency on them. So if you can harness, if you can amplify, if you can gather up.
Is there a frequency or a set of notes? Because wasn't this
Yes.
a somewhat religious thing?
You didn't
Actually,
even
that
finish asking the
It
question.
is.
She's like,
there's
yes.
a certain scale of notes that's actually considered angelic, and there's
Yes.
actually another
The
one
angel
that's
notes, yes.
that's
real.
considered.
I don't know what they are, but
That's the opposite.
Miss JD, angel.
Right? That there's
What did you
another-
call it?
Yeah.
Angel notes?
I thought they were called angel notes.
Angelic notes.
Angelic notes.
angelic
okay,
notes. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Songs
It's
have been
true.
written about
That's why
it.
it's great having a fact checker.
Think about the song "Hark the Herald Angels Sing."
Dude,
Glory
right?
to the-"
Well, I mean, because you're not even talking like notes, but you're also talking chord progressions. Note to
And the
note to
harp.
note with the. But I mean, those are all
It's
things.
not what you're saying though. It's all in the frequency. It's all in the.
You could be cursing somebody out, but if it's in the right melodic thing, everybody be like, "Oh my god, it sounds wonderful."
Well, do you know we've talked that where it's from the movie The Matrix, where the
French guy.
the Frenchman or Merovingian, he's sitting there and he's just like, and he just like belts out all of this French shit, and he's just like basically told you, he's like, I just talked the most trash on you whatsoever, but it sounds like I'm just wiping my ass, like, oh, it's just so nice. And he's just talking mad trash on you. There's, it's the same thing as like when you talk to a dog, you'd be like, nobody loves you. Nobody does. Yeah. And you're not going to get fed. And they just be like, oh my God. Yeah. And they're just, because it's the tone that you present to them.
That is
who's the bad boy?
You're right.
Okay, the Angel Notes
Taking
is a
you to the kennel.
fiction.
Oh,
it's a science fiction story.
Okay.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Say it again. Okay.
Yeah, we got
It's also
Yeah, we don't care about the bullshit. We want the real
a
stuff.
science fiction short story.
Yeah, fuck science fiction.
Angel
We want
Notes.
facts.
It's
We want
kind
hard
of
evidence.
Hard evidence.
It's kind of sad. She's
So
like,
they're
this
saying
is
it's not real.
that's why I think she's
Oh,
so
I'm
I'm
upset.
trying to
Yeah.
find exactly what frequency
But yeah,
it is.
the devil's chord
but it kept
progressions,
popping
too.
up
There was
as like a
another-
science fiction
I remember
story.
there was
I'm
another
like,
thing about playing, because there was actually a couple different musicians
he's
that were
horrible at putting
famous
his mouth.
for doing that on purpose.
Doing what on purpose?
Actually using the same chord progressions that were considered like the devil's notes.
But dude,
whatever.
there's-
A lot, probably.
well, yeah,
Right?
but
Like
oh yeah.
because there's melodic chords, there's
Well, it was rock
sad
and roll, I
chords,
think, that
there's
did it a lot.
Rock and roll, right?
There are quite a few chord progressions that promote an automatic idea. I mean, that's where you get like the difference
Exactly
between
what I thought of
melodic
rock and roll when you said that.
Yeah.
Well, not like rock. I don't know how to say rock and roll, but like
Well, rock and rolls is just like
devil music.
blues. Yeah, that's
Right.
the devil. That's just R&B and blues,
it
and
was more like heavy metal probably, where it started dipping into.
it's like
some
when
of
you're
the
talking
real-
about playing the Boston record backwards. That's a
Yup,
little
yup,
Nicky
yup.
reference. Yeah,
Satan
Freddie is the devil. Yeah,
Was it Freddie is the devil?
Yeah, that was Good Morning Vietnam. Yeah, we do a lot of movie quotes here. That's just
I gotta start
what we do.
watching more.
I got a whole collection, and I love I legit just give out DVDs and say, "Hey, watch them and bring them back," which kind of also makes you like feel accountable for like, fuck, I gotta come back and
I
drop
have
off his
to, right?
DVDs. Well, you're here, you might as well just record with us. Yeah, it's a way to get you to come back. It's a trick. But it works.
Yeah, it does. I don't have a DVD player.
I have one you can borrow. And just you'll have to bring that back.
Yeah.
You have to sign that out and see your library card on that.
All right, circling back to the frequencies, I did want to
were we talking
elaborate
about
on
that?
the
I was
talking about
432
something, I
versus the 440.
Dude, that was like 15 minutes ago.
No,
We're
no,
talking
but
about
it's-
angel
I know,
It's relevant.
but
It's
it
relevant.
goes in. It,
Oh, okay,
There's.
good.
It was. He got it backwards, so that's why I want to.
I love it.
So
yeah. Again, with the 22
the
lights, he's
440
fucking up all night.
Was
Unless you make
it's a higher
millions.
frequency and it amplifies things, so it makes it sound louder when you're in the presence. So when you have like an orchestra playing, it can seem like aggressive or violent, and then actually most instruments are tuned to 440, and it's the actual since 1950s it was set as the tuning to instruments, and in the 1975 it was confirmed as like worldwide everybody uses that frequency. So then the 432 is a lower frequency, and they said that when they did experiments between the two, that one, if you were to watch an orchestra at the 432, it was more enjoyable, it was easier and better to listen.
The
You can
sound is
clearly
fuller.
understand things.
Yeah.
But most is done in 440. Some will bring it back and transpose
It's like
their music
Betamax.
into the 432.
Nobody's bringing back Betamax.
No, but it's better.
But as far as
but it
the
got overturned.
angelic,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah,
angelic
it's- yeah, right.
frequency
Segue.
is 1111. Ironically, as we were just
11.
discussing,
What do you-
1111 hertz is the
Is-
angelic frequency, the frequency of angels.
Oh, dude,
So
but wait, hold on.
ironically,
No,
we were just
no, side note,
discussing that
quick.
1,000 hertz
No,
takes
no,
away
no.
all your pain.
Dude, 111 or 4. Remember, we all went out to
1111, yeah.
Yeah, no, we all went out to breakfast with fucking Artie that one morning.
Or ones.
And I was talking about how I'd been seeing a lot of like 44s and stuff. And he's like, oh, that's funny. He's like, 4 is the angelic number.
Yeah.
So that's actually,
And
yeah.
for ones,
Yeah, a lot of people are into the
1111
twos.
make a wish.
Like double twos.
Dude, you know what? I love like double deuces.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, yo, I'm telling you to peace out, but like
like
twice.
threes.
Yeah, deuces,
3,
twice.
7s.
Plus, I mean, deuce just sounds funny.
But since listening and reading about Nikola Tesla, it's like 369 all the way.
Dude, all right, bro.
But most meditation music is in the 432 range.
I hope so. Well, no, so going back to the whole 369 thing, I'm at a place now where the volume I set, the temperature I set.
Isn't that weird? I do the same thing.
Anything where I get a physical digital readout of some sort, if I know what the relative construct of number is, it needs to be in reference to 3, 6, or 9. Dude, not a joke. And I've been doing it for,
So, honey, I had to put the volume on 18 because...
Dude, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, like... Dude, not a joke.
I always kept mine on odd numbers on the TV. It always had to be an odd number.
Dude, you know what I used to...
Mine has to be on... Yes, it either has to be on 5 or like increments of 5. So like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
I am so weird about this. Or 3, like odd numbers. Why?
Yeah, I can never have it on 13 though. Like anything can never be on 13.
Dude, you know what?
I just don't like it.
You know what's funny?
Somebody's getting married on the 13th. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Do you see this? Here's the funny thing is I would on one of my old sound systems at 13 was like the perfect like low but still loud volume. And I'm like 13. 13's my
and
lucky
13
number.
over the bridge.
13 is a powerful number.
13 over the bridge, like you said.
See, this is
Yeah,
what I
probably
love
is.
No, but 13.
There was 13 original colonies.
Well, think
and
about
that had to do with the Masons' theory of numbers.
Jesus Lord, which is also a 4, which is the angelic
I don't
number.
like it though. I don't know
Wait,
why.
hold on.
And
Did
even if
you
you
know
rule out the
this?
fact that there was a replacement for Judas, there was 12 apostles and there was Jesus. So that was 13.
Oh.
Which is also 4. What were you going to say?
Okay, weird fact.
Not
Oak
from the fact checker.
Island was supposed to be part of was supposed to be like one of the New England colonies, and then it didn't end up making it, right? So because it didn't end up making it in, they were one state short of making 13. So they separated, I believe it was Vermont and one of the other states like Connecticut and New Hampshire, which are the other bordering states, but they split one state into 2 to make it total 13 states.
I feel like
so they created a state just to make it a 13 state so the number would hold value.
I feel like as the fact checker, you need to verify your information and make sure we're specific on this. Just saying. When you get a fact checker, she's like, I feel like
another thing.
States.
But no, dude, I want to go back to the whole thing like you said, because dude, I've had this thought before.
There was actually more than 12 astrological signs too.
Oh yeah, there's 13.
Oh, right.
But dude, that's what I'm saying. Going back to the idea, like you just said, and I've had this thought before. You got the 12 apostles. That's a 3. But then you add Jesus. Now you're at 13.
So you're back to 4.
Which I mean, as we're just talking about the angelic. No, dude, we've never had this discussion before. This is fucking dope. I love this shit.
No, we haven't.
Dude, but so again, going back to our buddy Artie, where I'm just happenstance, just having conversation with him. I mean, he's a medium and all this stuff, so he's into like spirituality and energies and angels, and I'm just like, bro, I've been having this 44 thing, which was kind of almost like a side thing with him and I as like a joke, damn near. And I'm bringing it up to him, and he's like, "That's kind of funny." And I'm like, "Why is that fucking funny?" He's like, 4 is the angel number, and it's like, oh, and because the coincidence and all that is in that time frame, I've been in a place where, one, I've just found out that my one dead grandmother, who was like the shittiest grandma ever, like the worst of the worst. Yeah, by the way, love you, grandma. She's the dopest on the other side. Like, she's one of my guardian angels who's just like fucking shit up for me. She's like, bro, I got you. Dude, sit your ass down. Grandma's handling this. Like, oh shit, like grandma's OG hard as fuck. But having these conversations, and he's just like, 4 is your angel numbers. And he had just taught me a prayer where it's like, I'm giving permission and asking for my angels to just intervene in my life. Like, you give me the intuition, give me the guidance. Let me just be flow. Yeah. Let me be like Bruce Lee talks about, be the water, be the flow, just do it. Right. And now all of a sudden it's like, we're joking about 44, and Artie's like, oh, that's angel number. But I was just like, son of a bitch. And so those synchronicities have just been like,
makes sense.
Dude, it's been fucking awesome. Plus, breakfast was really dope that morning. Yeah, we had this little diner in Woodbridge, freaking Jersey, and it was a really good time. The waiter was awesome. We had a freaking dog under the table, and nobody knew about it. Oh, it's hilarious. He was a service animal. We're not trying to, we're not asking for. We're not
Yeah, we don't need backlash.
Yeah, no, we were, well within our legal
He's
rights.
so well behaved. We even forgot he was under the table.
We all forgot he was there.
Dude, and for his name and how much of a pain in the ass he can be, he was a fucking delight that morning. His first name is Lucifer. Not a joke.
God.
Lucifer Morningstar.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Lucifer Morningstar.
That's no, say his
show.
name for real. Say it for real. Say
He
it.
is my.
Yeah, no, she says Lucifer Morningstar. When she gets all pissy with him, she gets real fucking mashed tooth. Oh, my God. His fucking New England hard as shit. Can't even understand what the hell she said. Yes.
Morningstar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exaggerates the shit out of it. Which I mean, he's a sweet little dog, but yeah, he's also a pain in the ass. His name's fitting.
I've watched that show, Lucifer, like 3 times now. Lucifer
you like
Morningstar.
it?
I love
It's a
it.
good show.
Wait, is an actual show named Lucifer Morningstar?
Well,
or-
Well, it's Lucifer.
It's just Lucifer,
Yeah.
Which-
but his
Um,
actual name is Lucifer Morningstar.
Right.
Before he fell and became the fallen
Yes.
angel, then
How
he was
recent is
just
this
known
show?
as
Who's
Lucifer.
on this? Because
Oh, that's
or
been out for a
Satan.
number of years.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like I was watching a show that was called Lucifer. The
What's his name? James.
It
like
used to
runs
be
the
on
nightclub.
Fox.
I can't remember the names. Yeah, it's right now it's on Netflix.
the guy who
Yeah,
plays.
because they canceled it and brought it back. Tom Ellis.
Tom Ellis, that's his name.
I need a picture. I don't do great with names.
So good. I've watched
Well,
it
'cause
3 times.
Yeah, he owns a nightclub. He runs a nightclub,
Yeah.
and he's like
No, this is not the. Yeah,
he's
no.
got this chick on the police
In
force
LA.
that like
Yeah, he's in
or
LA.
Vegas.
yeah.
No, there was another show. I'm pretty sure it was called Lucifer or something had Lucifer in the title, and the individual I'm thinking about was on the show How I Met Your Mother. He was.
Everything ties back to
Yeah,
that.
that's like the second time you referenced
Oh, dude, I
it.
fucking love How I Met Your Mother. Are you
Oh, he'll do
kidding
it
me?
every time.
There's so many episodes.
Dude, oh my god, there's 9 fucking seasons, and they're all really good. Dude, it is. But yeah, no, it was and he was and it was he's not it's just that's how I'm recalling memory wise, but he's been on way more shit than that. But it was I'm pretty sure it was a show where it was something Lucifer something. And that's when you started bringing that up. That was like that's what I got there, but yeah, I don't know how recent. What year is the new show?
I don't know. I just saw it on Netflix.
I mean, how many seasons are in it? Do we? I mean, I'm
It's
sorry.
been out
I
for a
just-
number of years. I couldn't tell you how many exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's
4 or 5.
let me share this.
Yeah, I was
and
saying,
then
go.
give
Can you bring that up?
information
Yeah,
at the
let's give me-
same time.
Let's see some shit. I mean, we got fucking technology. Let's hook it up.
Yeah, let's see. Yep, there he is.
Yeah, not the show I'm
So-
thinking of.
Oh, and there's
That's
Chloe.
Tom Ellis.
Okay, 2016. Yeah, what I'm thinking of, I want to say is probably like 2010 or 2012. And it's something I've never.
And it was a TV show.
Oh yeah. Mine was also a TV show. That's why I said I forget his name, and that's why it might be the easier way to figure it out. It was Robin Scherbatsky's father on the second half, because in the first half of the show, it was actually the guy from not Guiding Light. God, what was one of the major soap operas? I remember because my buddy used to watch it all the freaking time. Yeah, dude, in his 50s, hardcore, like Philly, white American, I drink beer. And he's in every day, he had to be like, no, my show's on. And he took a break for 1 hour a day, every fucking day, Monday through Friday, just so he could watch his soaps. Not a joke. But yeah, no, that's why I'm like, yeah, that's not the... yeah, Robin's father. Him. Yeah, Ray Weiss. Let's do him. IMDb shit with look up Lucifer or something like that. I'm telling you, God, it had to have been like 2010 or 2012.
Reaper?
I don't even know how we're here at this
Oh,
point.
Reaper.
Oh, Reaper. That's what it was. That's why I said Lucifer or something like that.
Yeah, and he was the devil.
What isn't that what Lucifer is?
Yes, I know the show now. It's all coming back to me. I can see him as
Yeah, that shit was funny. But see, that's why when you guys were talking about that shit, that's the image I got into my head was that fucking guy. But I don't know. I don't even know how we got on the show Lucifer. Let's be honest. Like,
I had him as my phone cover at one point. I was really obsessed with the show.
okay. Well, what's the point behind it?
Well, I mean, yeah, he was a fallen angel. His father sent him to hell to look over, to give people all their punishments. And then he came to LA and he decided he wanted to stay on Earth with people, and he fell in love and he met a lot of people and he became kind of good. And then he almost became God. Well, and then, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say the whole thing.
He got in a rash of shit with his own family because he wasn't doing...
Yeah, they wanted him to stay down there.
He was like basically going straight.
Yeah.
He wasn't being evil
It's like
enough.
his family was the mafia and he was going straight. He was like, no, I'm going to run a pet store.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
But
perspective.
it's, a nightclub, whatever. But,
Yes.
I mean, isn't that the same thing?
I mean, he was still, just as evil as the average person, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he was, no, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never really got into it, but I did watch a couple episodes.
I mean, we're talking about in LA, so it's like,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think that's why they put him there, it just was...
I mean, to me at least, cinematically, LA automatically promotes it doesn't guarantee that it's going to be a negative connotation,
Right.
but it definitely lends its hand that it's like, isn't it though?
And it's Los Angeles, the city of angels. Just weird.
I mean, I feel like that, there's probably a little bit of like, yeah, right. That's the irony that they're just like, it's like,
Let's name it this.
you're right. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, I've never seen that show, but I've also been at a place in, oh God. Yeah. I mean, I
I have to like bug you several times if there's a show that I really like. I'm like,
pretty
you should
much
check this out. You're like,
Yeah, I do most of the stuff that's being put out, and I'm not
Except
even
for Wu-Tang,
TV shows. Yeah, fucking Wu-Tang. Honestly, everything about Wu-Tang. But dude, I mean, movies, TV, music, like there's been so many things that have been put out lately. It's just like, it's just garbage.
Yeah.
It's legit straight there's no passion, there's no heart. Dude, it's so cookie cutter. We're
Yeah.
making our money, F everybody else kind of shit, that it's just like there's legit no heart. And
Yeah.
I can't, I'm at a place where, talking like
I think
earlier,
things are moving into open source media really quick though because of stuff like this.
which I think is
Like,
fucking
I
great.
really
It's like we were
do.
talking no A&Rs, none of that shit. But
All right.
I mean, I got to a place where it's just like, dude, I can't stand any more of this stuff. Like it's for me to allow this to be my input.
Yeah.
My visual reiteration of
Yeah.
what I'm trying to focus on mentally. Dude, it was contradictory. My
Yes.
mindset and my heart was like peace, love, positivity, and everything I'm ingesting information wise was just like pure trash. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally being contradictive.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had to pull back. I stopped watching pretty much everything. I mean, the news, the TV. I mean, do anything. Any car I would have, if it had an antenna, I pulled the antenna off just because now my radio legit could not get the reception.
Oh, wow.
So I was not even allowing myself to possibly have that input. But it's because I was so much on that level. It's just like I need to maintain my inputs. Like I have to build these habits to support what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's great advice, though, for people who really need to take a step back and stop clouding their minds with just worthless things. I always catch myself doing that, too, like just watching hours and hours of like scrolling on your phone or something like that. And it's just like violently, aggressively scrolling over and over and over. You don't learn anything, for hours.
I waste so much time now just watching short videos.
Me too.
But some of it's just
You do
doing,
learn
honestly,
something. You
it's
learn how to
honestly-
kill time.
Yeah. Well, some of it's honestly, I'm doing
like, dude,
research because I'm trying to figure out like what's popping with people. Like what's got me watching for the longest. Like
Yeah.
what's
Dude, good for you to do some fucking nice, bro.
just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Like and that's what drives all of this. Really, it's
Yes.
just curiosity. It's like
Yeah.
like we were saying at the beginning when we were hitting some really kind of rough waters. Like
Our numbers were shit for years.
No, but I didn't even care at that point. But I was like, if this
Dude,
affects,
it's true.
if this affects and could save one person's life, that's all it would matter
Right.
to
Yeah.
me.
Right?
Like, because I was like, because then, if we could take credit for that, like we were just being ourselves and being real. You know,
dude, and it goes back
and
to
even
like,
if all world goes to shit, it's like at least we can say we were ourselves. We were
Yeah.
real.
dude, that's why I think when you use the word authentic, you know, above like organic, you know, even harmonious, you know, both of those really just harmonious and authentic. Both of those just really just resonated. I was just like, yo. Because I mean, dude, organic, you know, while today's connotation means that there's nothing added to it, to me, the idea of, you know, being...
You didn't try to control it to be a thing that it wasn't.
Right,
you know, like,
but that's
going to be.
That's why I say like harmonious or, you know, those words really, to me, almost resonate more of just, you know, be the flow. Like, I'm just here. It is what it is. I'm just here.
Yeah, and I feel like organic does have relevance though too, because your conversation becomes organic. You're not scripting it. You don't have, you know, I see you guys don't have a paper in front of you that's like, well,
Nothing.
Bridget, where did you grow up? What are we talking about today? What are the topics? So that's where it becomes organic. Your authenticity comes with your personality. You're not trying to be anything that you're not, you know, so you have both. You both do.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a
I
natural.
appreciate the compliment, and I also appreciate that. That was well said. I like that. Yeah, that's a
Which
really
is,
good
like,
point.
Boils down to just a natural curiosity for the world
Yes.
around me. Like,
Yes.
and that's
Dude, that's why I say you and I are just like two
if I had an
13
art form that I put out, that right now this is it.
That's
You
why,
know?
well, that's why I said
have
you
your
and I
thing
are
and-
freaking. We're two 13-year-olds trapped in like adult bodies because we
But
have
aren't we
that.
all? I mean, really.
Well, we have that childlike innocence where we're just like, well, what happened? What happened after that? Oh my gosh, that's what happened after that? Like we're like two children, just like oh my god, tell me more. Like we're just so we're not so much like inquisitive to the point that we're trying to break things down. We're just like naturally just like, oh, that's exciting.
Like I was saying, for like the past, God, like over 3 weeks now, I've been just like really delving into like the Emerald Tablets and Thoth the Atlantean and all this other stuff. And like,
Dude, I've been catching some extra shit on top of that,
it's
bro.
actually a lot of it has to do with your recent interest in Billy
Carson.
And I've been following his whole thing too. And I'm like, it's weird how all these historical landmarks kind of intermingle to the point where, yeah, maybe it is all the same person we're talking about. Maybe this has been at the beginning of and the forefront of all this movement.
Are you talking on
religiously.
geographical or
No, I'm just like when like spiritually when I'm looking for like the most historical document that I can find.
okay?
When we keep delving deeper and finding older and older documents, to me, that like when you land on something like the Emerald Tablets, it's like you really can't go back any further than that.
As far as we're aware currently, yeah.
I mean,
Well, 'cause,
you're talking about pre-Phoenician, pre-Egyptian,
Sumerian, all that.
Mesopotamia, like all it was.
yeah,
It was
dude.
before all of that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we're sitting here talking about our timeline of history, and it's like all of a sudden, you know, Egyptian was like the end all be all. You know, we built the pyramids then.
Yeah.
Now we've been slowly
And now we're starting
building.
to say like the Egyptians didn't even build the pyramids.
Fuck no, they came in and threw some graffiti up on that bitch.
Like
they were
the
just like,
Sphinx-
motherfucker.
The
Yeah, they're just
Sphinx was
tagging
already
shit.
there. That the
Fuck yeah, dude.
The main pyramid of Giza.
Yeah, the main
was
pyramid,
already
Giza.
done.
Yeah. At that point had already been established, was as far as we're aware on an engineering level, an energy producing
Like
device.
when the dynasty began, they started building other structures, but like
Yeah.
the basis of that pretty much that whole encampment.
Well, yeah, I think the
was actually all found after being buried in the sand for thousands of years.
well, so I think at this point the science is starting to predate the Sphinx as the earliest out of all of them. So it was there before the Giza pyramid and everything. So not the three, like legit, like the biggest and
Sphinx
everything.
itself.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause that's-
it was the first.
Well,
Dude,
that's-
we get into like really deep, crazy shit though. But that's
that's where the opening to the underground layer of Thoth the Atlantean
supposedly
was placed,
way.
and
the
that,
true Hall of Records.
no, and that this is fascinating
I
stuff.
gotta
But
watch
that's
this.
where
Or
this.
hear it.
Dude, we can start a whole side chat. This is literally like what we
just talked about in research,
I need
but-
to see. I need to hear.
But apparently, that's where this this spaceship, for lack of a better term, sits beneath and basically squaring the circle. It sits beneath the pyramid,
Okay.
the base of the pyramid. I forget how many feet down below,
Okay.
Not the main one.
but that it's like basically powered by the flower of life and a magic crystal or something like that. And and he writes, Thoth the Atlantean writes about all of this stuff in the Emerald Tablets. Like this all fascinating, like,
It's fascinating.
Is it spiritual, religious history, or is it UFOs, or is it both?
Right.
Or
Well, and so with you know, the side note, going back to a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, it seems evidence-wise, like scientifically, and again, this does not mean that it's actual knowledge. It just means that it's reproducible ideas. The one concurrent idea kind of comes back to the whole idea of like frequencies and vibrations, where it's like, all right, so we didn't have air quotes technology, like we didn't have powered tools, mega cranes, things of this nature.
or did we?
Right.
But what we did have, and we know we had, was frequency vibrations or sounds. And we've done, a few episodes where we've had enough research and information where it's like we've started to see these connections where there's a potential to have a resonant factor, going back to the whole bridge thing at like 13 miles an hour. If you get, whether it's 5 people, 500 people, 5,000 people,
Walls of Jericho.
when you resonate on a sound level, if you have a resonant factor of whatever it is, I mean, it could be, 4 hertz, 400 hertz, it doesn't matter.
And all these ancient temples were constructed to
Oh yeah, we've been lately,
sound.
right. Well, it either modifies, amplifies,
or amplify. Yeah.
right. So if we go and we're sitting there
Echo
having
chambers.
we're talking about this idea of like technology, and we think of it as power tools.
Like, what if they're like acoustic pieces? Like,
Well, that's what the claim is.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So what if you get 5,000 people all humming A or A sharp or C or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you get on that exact frequency, whether it be 432, 5, something, you get on that number.
maybe
And
that's what happened to the Mayans. They disappeared. They probably floated away.
dude, no joke.
Yeah.
So
No,
We
because
were
that just
talking
put a
about
lot
that.
of pieces together in
They
my head.
sung themselves into extinction.
that's, dude, we've looked it up
They
because
hit
I
the
brought it.
That's one of
I
the
brought.
claims
I
That
that
makes
there was
so much sense.
Dude, I brought this idea up to the two of them,
I
and we
watched
started
them.
like researching it, and the best we can come up with was like, oh, there was like cholera and this, that, and the other. I'm like, no. There's legit. There was like 500,000 or 1 million fucking Mayans, and all of a sudden, like they were here and they were
Vanished.
fucking gone. There's no goddamn evidence.
Untouched.
Well, you heard that now.
Dude, there's no pottery, there's no bones, there's fucking nothing, and we couldn't find shit on the internet. Dude, she knows.
Like with all this
I
stuff.
just put together a lot of pieces in my head. Did you see the spaceship piece they found? And they said the metamaterials take the frequencies and makes it levitate.
What?
On
What?
the
Yep,
aliens?
because
Wait, what?
any sightings
What, you
that
know
they've
this
had
and-
of
how do-
UFOs.
what?
Listen,
Yeah, the
any sightings they've
UFOs,
had of
yeah.
UFOs, think about it. They say it makes a humming sound.
Yeah.
And NASA, their scientists have
found a
actually
piece.
replicated and made like
Yes.
different flying things. And it says it's all made with sound resonance because the frequency makes it shake to the point where
It
it
can
like
float.
levitates
Yeah.
and it constantly spins. And that's just like what they do with the water.
Yeah.
With the different frequencies, whatever frequency it is, and like the sound. If you remember, we were talking like a long time ago about how they got like stones to move, and the guy in Florida who was sighted with the cones making things
Oh.
move. Sound frequency, knowing how to use the because everything has a frequency. Everything has a frequency.
Yes.
A rock, a molecule of water, a cardboard box, like everything is made of matter, and that matter has its own
inanimate or
resonance.
not by definition. So whether it's a physical, biological being or a just fucking rock, dude, everything is frequency. We all vibrate. We're all molecules. Like science says it, but
I like it when you hum.
Yeah.
you can leave.
No, I don't want to.
That is
So namaste.
dude, but no, for real, like the fact that you brought up, like, dude, this is no joke, because I think out of you're legit the only other person, and having these conversations that you brought that up out of fucking nowhere.
I know. It's just, I watched
These are
so much of it.
conversations we have on the side.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
Between, like, the three of us.
and that's why I said we went down a rabbit hole of trying to find
Yeah.
this,
And
and
now
all
we're
we're
not
not
gonna
come
wanna
up
finish.
with was like fucking cholera and all the stupid
Yeah.
shit. It's like, yeah, that's what the history books tells you.
Yeah.
But dude, there was an event that is unexplainable,
Yeah.
and there's no fucking evidence. Like, dude, it leads up to there's evidence plenty before that says that there was this massive amount of a civilization, and then legit just disappeared.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find fucking
Yeah.
anything. So the fact that you even know this and brought it up, I'm just like, see, I fucking knew this. I knew this is real. Like, dude, yeah, this is real. This is real shit. I know this.
Well, and they claim that the pyramids were built by or for, was it Cheops or something like that? I forget.
Also took 30 years. Or wait, which ones?
Yeah, if you do the math on it, it doesn't add up.
It does
but-
not fucking work.
Right.
Oh my God.
But that it was truly built. It was built by the Atlantean.
Dude, but I
I mean,
mean,
actually, believe it or not, it just makes more sense than.
Yeah.
well, and so
And
this is.
he created it in. So this is the best part. He created the pyramid upside down. Like he created it right side up, but he created it from the top down
Right.
in a higher plane, and then slowed its vibration down until basically it just landed. That's the story.
I kind of like that
Like,
explanation.
how badass is that? And I believe that more
Yeah,
than
dude.
it was slavery. Because I know there was slavery. There's always been slavery, but I don't
Agreed.
think you could. When you do the math on that, it's like a brick that weighs like over
Yeah.
10 tons would have to be laid like every 30 seconds for 30 years.
I
straight
want
or
to say it
something.
was like 5 or 7, but yeah, still, and it's just not only
Like some
laid,
ridiculous, yeah.
but not only laid, but also produced, carried, and laid, and not just like locally. They had to bring that shit from
It wasn't-
from
had to-
downriver.
Yeah, the
So you had to go
quarries
up
were,
river.
like,
Like
a
you-
couple miles away.
Yeah, you had to fuck. It wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna float this shit down. No, you had to go against the fucking current. You shitting me? Dude, that's
Well, that
Like
depends
you're
on what
working
time
the
of day
boat
we're
right
doing
now. Like
this.
you're pissed off. Like
And
you're
what
shitting me.
grade the
Right.
moon's in.
Get off the shit. You want me to do what?
this doesn't go this way. But that's
Or
the
you'll
thing,
cut my
though.
head off? Okay, I guess I have to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, and I think that's probably my biggest point with any and all of the history information that's been presented to us. Like, okay, so there's some logic to it. There's some understanding. Like, okay, I can agree with your idea. Doesn't mean that I agree to it. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, I can see how that's
So
valid.
there's a better option to listen to, right?
But it at the same time it doesn't make sense though.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't to put a funny to be it doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
Like it just I hear that and I'm like, why does that? That's why going back to the whole 432 or 440, it sounds the same, but one of them is just going to be like, oh, that's beautiful, and the other one's
there
like,
you go.
And that's
I mean, that sounds okay.
that's my whole point about the mainstream pushing something that's just a bit off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you ever heard of you ever heard of the term the Overton window?
I feel
So,
like,
like-
yes, but I'm
So
gonna
like
need.
you have a perception of things within a realm of what's acceptable for you as a human being, right? And you have an
Yeah.
envelope.
Yeah. Yes.
And when you go beyond that envelope, you're pushing the Overton window. So like when you make it
Hence pushing
acceptable,
the envelope.
when you make a certain behavior acceptable socially, you're pushing the envelope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like by doing that, you can slowly kind of change a whole society into thinking differently and realizing that this is not slavery that we live in. This is not. But the truth is, like a lot of these mainstream people are motivated to keep a certain emotion going.
Well, all right.
And
So
whether you believe that that's aliens or creatures from another dimension or
Dude,
whatever
and
it
it's
is.
happened much before mainstream music too.
Sasquatch.
The way they were controlling people.
Sasquatch. Dude, yes, you're right. And
But
that's
pushing the mainstream media, I mean,
That's like today's
honestly,
example.
to things like violence, to things like
Yes, yeah.
like tribalism, to things like I mean, and it all comes down. And if it's not that, it's sex. It's
Yeah.
nothing but sex, violence, and
Dude.
tribalism.
Yes.
And where you're going with that, to me, it seems to be, you know, like, let's go back to that conversation about the magician where they're like, oh, look at the spoon. Oh shit, what happened over there? Oh, you didn't see the spoon bin?
I mean,
you
yeah,
missed
but
it?
but it's even more than that, because it's like right in your face, because it's like, this is the media that we take in from the time that we're a child. Like, I get hooked on songs.
Yeah, because think about
we listen to music, especially us as kids, because it wasn't controlled as much. We listen to music that was well above our age range. We watched movies that were above our age range. Like, we always push the limit, but things have changed since then.
Oh my God, massively.
And it's like, and we joke about it, but now that the fact that everything is on demand, it's kind of even scarier.
Yeah.
Because anytime you get a free moment, at any time you can just look something up and click a button, and there it is.
Yeah.
But see, I mean, that's my thing. Is like there
like, we had to work hard for it when we were kids if we wanted to find something inappropriate to watch.
That's why I'm like, at this point in our timeline, society wise, there's so many additional, you know, distractions that it's like, again, you
have to remind people, like, the onus is still on you.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, hey, when, you know, over here, look at the spoon. Oh shit. Oh, you missed the spoon. Dude, we're so inundated with all of these other options that you fucking even forget that you were watching the goddamn spoon.
Yeah.
The spoon's not. You're just. What happened over here?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it happened over here. Oh wait, no, what happened? And you daisy chain from that was so 23 seconds ago.
Yeah.
We're so inundated with choices and options, and
like, they're pushing that really short attention span, and that's not by accident.
Right.
I agree with that.
That's been for a long time. Like, if you watch commercial spots, when they started realizing they had such a short amount of time to keep your attention, they would, and this is like a psychological thing, that every time you change perspective, like, you kind of have to snap back to attention to figure out what's going on. Like, you know, and it's a way to keep your attention. But the thing is, you start realizing that not only went from a commercial spot, but then it went into, like, you know, not daytime TV, but, like, you know, primetime TV, like, even from the time we were growing up, where, you know, like, everything had to be
good ad time.
Like, a situation had to come up, get acknowledged, and then get resolved within, you know, 28 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever it was, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I tell you what, I've been, in my searches, I came across this new individual on YouTube that, to me, I mean, so far has not provided any kind of evidence. So, like, logically, I'm like, dude, you're a douchebag. However, there's been a few statements, dude. No, for real. Like, everything he's presenting, I'm just like, dude, you're so fucking full of shit. Because he's sitting there making these statements about evidence and this, that, and the other. But then he legit just right straight backs it up with, like, you know, my opinion. It's like, so you're going to sit here and talk about evidence and you're not providing any, but you know, you're talking, but okay. But outside of that shit, he said a few things where I'm just like, all right, well, I think you're full of shit. That's a really good point. Son of a bitch. Dude, I mean, because, all right, so think about this. One of the things he brought up, because, I mean, you know, again, I watched a couple of his videos, and I'm just like, I don't know. This is just, you know, conspiracy theory kind of shit. He brings up the one idea where, you know, here in America, think about it. We go from, like, I want to say the late 1800s, where the air quotes industrial revolution, where all of a sudden, like, machinery, power tools, like, all of these things start to pop out. He's like, so we go from America is just starting to establish itself. We have no, you know, extreme technology of any kind. And now all of a sudden America is this, you know, stronghold, and we start, you know, the stock market. We now have patents and all these other things, and technology just takes the fuck off. He's like, America now establishes itself. It says it's this, that, and the other. It puts all these things out there. And I was just like, all right, you know what? I mean, you don't really have any evidence on this, but that's a really good fucking point. Like, we go from legit no power tools, no extreme technology. It's taking us, you know, which, by the way, like, think about this.
From the Wright brothers to the landing on the moon was a matter of, like, 60 years.
Now, think about the Wright brothers. This was a airplane that they were able to launch and fly for a little over
Made out of bicycle parts.
that right, but
right.
flew for a little over 800 feet, right?
Impressive. I mean, honestly,
Well,
for its time.
But wait, there's more. As soon as they do this 800-foot trek and the plane lands, there's a massive wind gust, blows the plane over, and it falls to pieces.
Okay.
Isn't that kind of wait, you're telling me this structure that made it like a quarter of a mile almost by itself gets a strong enough wind gust that it falls to pieces? So you have a working prototype that now falls
because
apart.
it's not sturdy enough to hold the vibrations of the wind as it's coming and the pressure and the different.
It was built for
It's an
flight.
engineering thing.
It was a small airplane built for flight with a full 185-pound individual on it.
There was two guys on it.
So, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. So this guy's making
So,
all
like,
of
the
these
wind hit it,
points,
they just-
right?
Did they die?
No, but the one guy, I think
I
got
mean,
pretty tore
at
up.
some point, yes.
What?
Not like that.
I mean, spoiler alert.
But that's the thing is like he's making these points about how we have these massive constructions, these massive cathedrals, like these huge block structures, massive pillars, like they're so, just everything's so like mega huge. We don't have any power tools. And then all of a sudden we start the stock market and there's like power tools and patents and like the world we have these, Greek style concrete structures that we still can't produce today. I want
to say you're talking about all these advanced things that we figured out. And like we did figure out a lot of cool stuff.
Right, but we still can't reproduce Greek
historically
fucking
speaking,
architecture.
When you look at the architecture of the Giza Plateau, okay, just by itself.
Yeah, how many acres is the fucking Giza pyramid?
The guys that claim to have built it basically tagged it.
That's why I said fucking graffiti.
The hieroglyphs that were written on there were graffiti. They weren't actually etched into the stone.
They were stamped
and
afterwards.
This is what's really messed up. The ones that were done so crappy that it didn't even match the rest of the hieroglyphs in the
Not even close.
In the entire area.
Not even close.
So it's like there was technology that actually went downward through the passage of time.
Right.
Like maybe somebody had been given information that somehow got lost over the years.
Well, see, and that's why
they took it away from us. Idiots.
And like, even with all our power tools, we still can't do what they did way back then.
It's too powerful for these idiots, It's gone. You're done.
Well, yeah. Well, so I mean, one of the points
was it resonance? Was it?
That's why. So I mean, one of the points I was making was with that whole
too big
idea.
for our britches. They took all our toys away.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
One of the points I was going to make with all that is like, okay, so while we have this amazing, mega huge Greek style concrete, blah, 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 the fucking Cathedral of Notre Dame that caught fire is, still being repaired. It's like, dude, it's taking us longer to repair what was fucking built. Well, but part of that is because we don't use
way back then.
Right.
The materials also are sparse compared to what they used then and what we use now. Like we've completely either eradicated those materials completely or have shifted so far from it.
And that's my bigger point on all that is it's now gotten to a place where it's no longer cost effective to do those things in that fashion that we've forgotten about that technology. And we want to disregard it and call it like old thing. But dude,
I think that was always the question.
But if we can't reproduce it, then isn't that technology? Like, isn't that an intelligent design? Yeah. But we want to sit there and say it's bullshit. And it's just like, oh, that's so archaic. Well, we can't fucking do it today. So if it's archaic, well, dude, go back to
the question's almost moot. It's like, bro, if you could make the Great Pyramid at the Giza Plateau,
that's what I say.
Now,
like, so think about this.
Nobody would do it.
Well, so that's why I was like, to think about this. If you go to Back to the Future, where we're talking about the fucking video game, and it's just like,
who would want to be a slave now?
Dude, everybody's a slave at this point. But he picks up the fucking gun and he starts like shooting everything. They're like, oh, you have to use your hands. It's like, dude, if that technology
Child's
is
play.
so archaic, shouldn't it be child's play where we're just like, oh, wait, you mean you have to actually touch it? Oh, my God. But it hasn't been. We've gone backwards. We've gotten to a place where it's like we should be touching it, and we're just like, no, that's not how it works. What? But then how come we can't produce it anymore?
Oh, well, why should we waste our time with that?
Well, and that's why I
And
said
that's what makes me believe some of this stuff more than anybody or more than anything else is that why did you spend that much time building the pyramid, which was definitely not, and I the air quotes was for the fact that it was
You didn't do air quotes, bro.
supposedly.
Yeah.
You can't say air quotes and not do the air
No,
quotes.
I did this down here, but anyway.
No, you didn't know. Dude. There was no hand gesture until I said some shit.
The fact that it was some kind of burial chamber or something is totally BS, right?
Dude, right?
And that was the story we were given because it's like, why would you spend that kind of energy putting something like that together? And it's like the only thing that makes sense to me is that it was a generator of some sort.
Well,
Like, why would you take that much time and energy and
and
lives,
something
blood, sweat,
that
and tears?
massive? Because I mean, I think again, the main pyramid covers acres.
Wow.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 acres or some shit. Like it's fucking massive.
Wow.
Yeah, people are like, oh, it's big. Dude, most of our homes in America are based off of either like quarter or half an acre. You're talking 3.5. You're talking a fucking town is a brick structure that was moved upriver by slaves over 30 years. Really? Really? You're gonna give me that? Like, dude, the narrative.
I mean, slaves were involved. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, dude. No shit. Well, dude, slaves.
There's no question about that. But
Slaves have existed in every millennia,
the sheer
every
numbers
century.
that you're talking about to complete a feat that we claim that they did with simple
wet sand,
and like logs and shit.
oh yeah,
to roll
rolling
stuff.
logs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
and manpower. I mean, JD brought this up earlier, and growing up in the 80s
It's
and
definitely
stuff.
bigger than the Mayan one.
Oh, it's
The
massive.
Mayan one, I could walk around in like 15 minutes.
I think the
you could
Mayan
walk
one is
around
about
the entire
50%
one.
the size of the.
That's what I'm saying. The
Great
Giza
Pyramid.
one's like fucking 3.5 acres or something. And that's just the
Yeah, that's
one
huge.
fucking pyramid.
I didn't know that either.
Dude, but
That's obviously you can't see from a picture
Dude,
how big
what-
it is, but
right? There's no true scale on it. That's why I mean
see it in person.
As some of these people, the Jeff Mara podcast that I've been like
oh, I'm
absorbing
really
like
starting to
crazy.
get into this. Yeah, dude, the
Like
Jeff
all
Mara
these- all
podcast.
these-
Oh, wow.
He mostly
interviews
does
all these NDEs like
Yeah, he
crazy.
mostly does near death experiences. However, he I want to say his bigger niche is probably just fringe science. So the stuff that we don't want to really
He's been doing a lot of
we don't want
NDE,
to
though.
talk about. So yeah, well, it's big on
Like if it touches into that, but like he's been really kind of hyper focused on NDE.
I would agree with you with the extension of, so while it does revolve around the majority of the individuals having near death experiences, I think the further knowledge or information that he's deriving to is that there's a realm, if at minimum just a realm outside of us, there's something outside of us.
Oh, yeah,
he's really promoting more of that.
He's one of us in that belief system, definitely.
Yeah. that
Yeah, I
makes
mean,
sense.
yeah, the majority of his people are near death experiences, but he does gravitate to those who are more or less fringe science, getting to these ideas that are just a little bit out there.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we don't think about any of that, or there you go. But that doesn't, I'm looking for acreage. I want fucking
I know, but look down here, the Big Ben.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I get
that's
that, but
a ginormous clock.
Yeah, it's fucking massive.
That's enormous.
It's so fucking big.
My God.
Wait, all right, so Eiffel Tower is 900, and so almost 1,000 feet tall, and the pyramid is
Tell me, motherfuckers.
450.
Move the slab up that kind of angle on nothing but rolling stones and What the?
No, they said they actually built, when they were building it, they realized that they would build sand dunes and keep building the sand dunes until they got to the top of the pyramid. So they were just walking the bricks up, right up to the edge, because they would keep increasing the sand dune up. And they found this out when they did an archaeological dig on a site where they hadn't finished building a pyramid yet.
This is where I have a problem, and our one dude is going to agree with me on this. So they want to say they have all of this evidence towards these ideas, abilities, things of those nature. Here's the deal. On an archaeological evidence finding, like dig into the soil, find your trash kind of shit, the amount of individuals that we're talking about in order to make this happen over a 30-year span, there is no trash, let alone enough trash to express this idea. Meaning that
there would be a mega city around this, like a metropolis around this thing.
Even on slave labor, you still literally on a infrastructure level have to have so much food, so much waste removal. There's no evidence, dude, because whether it was just everybody's shitting out in the fucking sand,
huge landfill somewhere still.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So even if it was just everybody's like, oh, I just took a shit over by that fucking palm tree. There would
multiply that by
there would be an excess of methane within the soil or something to prove that
there would be physical construct of correct. So there'd be some sort of leftover. There's none of that. So every idea that they presented to us, there's no evidence on any level, even if it was going to the idea that we could have had a massive flood and washed everything away. Even with that, there should still be some sort of resonance component in the soil, the sand, whatever, and there's fucking nothing.
No, so it was a couple
whales
monks.
used to have legs.
It was a couple monks with
how do whales have legs? What the?
What was it
it's true. They found
like an iron and a brass, or what was it? Like holding two different metals. Like it was some guy that was just humming certain resonances and lifting stones somehow.
Oh.
That's what right. It was a small group of some kind of monk.
I'm still stuck on fucking whales with legs. I don't. They're fucking.
No way.
It's true.
I'm not denying that. I love our tangents. Thank you, Miss JD. I appreciate you.
What's a
The
tangent?
randomest thing.
A tangent is when we get to the end all be all on those. That's the.
I'm sorry. Are we keeping you up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna lie,
dude. That's why I'm like, we are so at that point.
We've had a good time.
It's been a great conversation.
Dude, and that goes to that point we were talking about. We could have a quantum physicist and talking about mechanics, or a mechanic talking about quantum physics. Like we don't give a shit.
So much to research. Like I just have so much more research.
Again, we can start a whole new side chat.
Right,
we can just put you right on in there. You're asking for some serious shit if you want to get into this conversation.
If you're come hang out anytime.
I would love
Dude,
to.
no, for real. Well, no, so you said you're going to start being more in the Philly area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I will.
Yeah, so the way it runs with us is first time you're a guest, second time you're a friend, third time you're family. So you got 2 more to go.
Okay.
Which, you have open invite. You're more than welcome to come back. Which
Thank you.
easily makes you, takes you from.
Was it the third time you got to bring liquor, though?
No, that's not true. Well, with our one buddy,
that was our one buddy. Yeah,
he kept saying because the first time we had really good tequila, second time we had really good tequila. So he's like, all right, so third time I come on, it's like now I gotta buy it because the first time
you said it. I was like,
because I think the first time is I brought the bottle, second time is he brought the bottle. He's like, well, fuck, third time it's got to be my turn, right? It's only fair.
And then he apologized when he didn't bring it this time.
Yeah, so he showed up the last time. He's like, so I was like, bro, we got it. It's like we're good. But yeah, he fucking Reese, you owe us. Reese, you owe us a bottle of fucking tequila, bro.
Yeah, Maurice.
But yeah, no,
Maurice.
Mo.
dude, yeah, Mo.
No, don't call him Mo.
No, Reese. It's Reese, dude. I can't. It's Reese. But yeah, no. Hey, let's go. Shameless plug. Let's go ahead. Yeah, where can we find you? Let's get some more of your shit out there because I mean we're gonna shameless plug the hell out of you. So do yourself your. Yeah, for real.
Okay, all right. So Brigavelli, you can find me on Spotify, Apple, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Amazon, Deezer, Tidal. There's a lot. But you just type in Brigavelli, Brigavelli.
Sponsors up top.
Okay.
Infos,
All right,
down below.
damn.
Yeah, we're still working on that.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, that's all. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Which, by the way, I mean, we played a little bit of your new track that's about to pop. Which, I mean, Mirror. Your voice is one thing, but there's a tone to it.
Yeah.
Like there's like a peace or tranquility. Like no, dude. So me
so
on
nice.
Yes, no.
from me on a sound engineer level, like when I started listening to the tracks you sent me, because I mean I listened to a few of your other ones. When you sent me those ones, and there was something that resonated with me audibly that I was just like I was at peace. I was like, yo. It's like, you know what? I can just chill out and fucking listen to this. Like this is, dude. Going to the idea of where today's movies, music, TV, all that shit it's literally trash. So to get somebody where all of a sudden it's just like I can play some new shit. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I can turn this shit the fuck up. Like I'm gonna put this in the car. Like I'm gonna crank this. Like it's nice to have
that's
that.
a qualifier, by the way.
It is. So yeah, that's
his qualifier.
I have a few rules when it comes to the music that I put on my music show, but the end all be all, like legit last rule. Like if you can't qualify this rule, not gonna fucking happen. And that rule is if I can't put you on full blast in the car, if I can't put you in and crank that shit up to like higher than fucking, if I can't put it on an 11, if I can't, then I can't push you on the air, bro. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I might love it. I might, but it's not happening. Yeah. So.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Dude, yeah, but I mean, that's how that shit happens. But yeah, all right, so cool. We got shameless plug. We have to shameless plug ourselves. Well, I guess not us. Round Guys Brewing. Yeah, one of the most phenomenal fucking local craft, PA. They've been around for 11 plus years. Yeah, Brewmaster's been doing it for over 20 years, 6-time Great American Beer Fest judge. Like, dude, makes seltzers, makes sodas, makes beers, QR codes to negate the shipping. Yeah, roundguysbrewery.com. It is fucking as well as if you want to reach out to us, we know how to get a hold of you, but how to get a hold of us, do itystudios.com. We got
GEMINI.
No, you gotta come on, bro. Sell it. There it is.
INI at itystudios.com.
Yeah, or Philly D PHILLY at itystudios.com. And Miss JD, how can we get a hold of you?
MISSJD at itystudios.com.
Yeah, as well as if one of us is not getting back to you, you should also hit all three of us up.
Why not?
Dude, I mean, you should probably do it at the get-go. Anyway, let's be honest, because I mean, one of us will get us at that point. But yeah, The Humans, THEHUMANSS at itystudios.com. But yeah, no, this is, I mean... I'm telling you, this has been amazing. Brigavelli, this has been an absolute blast.
Honestly, thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come back as many times as you want, by all means, especially now you're going to be like super local. Yeah, less than a 3-hour drive.
Even if we're already booked. I mean, we've already joked about that. Like if anybody wants to just pop in one day, whatever, just,
Dude, well, and think about
give
that.
us a little bit of notice, but
Right? But dude, our dude Reese like legit just hits us and he's like, hey man, I can fucking come up tonight. I'm like, fuck it, bro, just come on up. Yeah. And the guest that we had coming on fucking bailed, and it was just like, fuck it,
right,
dude. Those who were supposed to be on, it just so happened, and dude, those episodes were hilarious too. But
and he's good people, dude, like, fuck it, I love. We only hang out with good people,
right, dude? Those who were supposed to be in our lives are.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's all about. You got.
He was a little upset that somebody beat him to the third-time guest before himself.
I'm gonna go with a little bit more than just a little, but that's right.
Was being nice about it.
But no, he was still. Oh, dude, it was fucking hilarious. But this is Philly D,
Mr. Gemini.
Clickety clack a back chicken Miss JD.
Special guest.
Brigavelli.
Yeah, I know. Hey, fam, we appreciate you. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. But as always, be good to yourself. Be good to everything else.
Much love.
Peace.
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 Bye, guys.